Hey, welcome back. Just kidding. Okay, so the slope of a line. Okay, so ultimately what we're trying to do here is figure out what's the slope, what's the rate of change that's happening here. Okay, and so we talked about, if we go back to our very front page, okay, when we're doing it on a graph, we're going to do rise over run, okay, and that's our up, down over our left, right, okay, and we say positive and negative here, okay, so you might need to keep flipping back to the front and checking your stuff and make sure that, you know, it's looking right, okay, so you start at the bottom point, so all of these have 2 points marked. Okay, and so we say, well, from this point, how much do we rise? And you can only go in straight lines. So some of you guys are going to want to count like this, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, so if we rose 5. Okay, and now I need to make my way over to that point. And some of you guys are going to want to count like this, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, but we can't go crooked. We can only take like straight paths. Okay, and then we go over 1. So this slope is going to be 5 over 1, and we need to look and see, well, is this a positive or negative? So the easiest way is to look at where the top arrow is, okay? And so if you're looking at this one, our top arrow is up in this box, okay? And this one, our top arrow is in this box. And so if you look at the front page, see how my top arrow is in this box? That means it's negative, okay? So all you got to do is add a negative. Okay, it does not matter if I put my negative here, here, or here. Okay, but you can only put 1. That's the key there. Okay, you can only put 1. And so my slope is going to be negative 5 over 1. Okay. So if we're looking at 15, we start at the lowest point. Okay, so we rise 1, and we run 1. And then we look at this and say, well, look at the top arrow, and our top arrow is over here, okay? And so you can tell that that's the difference between these two, okay? The top arrow was over here, so it was negative. The top arrow is over here, and it's positive. And if you think about a graph, okay, this is positive 1, 2, 3, 4. This is going to be negative 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, okay? And so we know that that graph is going in the positive direction. Okay, so your slope is just going to be 1 over 1. 17, we start from the lowest point and we say, how much do we rise? 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, and then how much do we run? 1, 2. Okay, now, I would say reduce, but because it's first day, I'm going to say not. Okay, you can though, so 4 over 2, if you type that in your calculator, it's really going to be 2. Okay, and then we have to say, well, is this positive or negative? And so you can see that the top arrow is here, okay? Now, although the top arrow is not really in this box, okay, like it is over here, you can tell that it's going, if you would extend this line, it's going to end up going in that direction. So this is positive, okay? So either one of these answers would work, 2 or 4 over 2, okay? But it's just positive. Okay, 19. You can draw your little fraction bar, and we start at the lowest point. How much do we rise? 1, 2, 3. And we run 1, 2, 3. Okay, same thing. 3 over 3 is really what? It's really 1. Okay, and then we look at this and say, well, is this a positive slope or a negative slope? Okay, so look at the top arrow. It's in the negative box. So this needs to be either a negative 3 over 3 or a negative 1. Either one of these answers is fine. Okay, 3 over 3 is 1, okay? It is best to reduce, but I'm not going to nitpick it today, okay? But eventually you will need to. All our reduction is doing is, you could really see how this point is like going right through those crosshairs. There's really a point here, 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 here. So every time the line moves, there is one point there. And so that's why we reduce, okay? 21. Okay, we're going to rise 1, 2. And we run 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, well, 2 over 4 also does reduce to 1/2. And so what that's telling me is that really there's a point, it's not plotted, but you can, if we would go up 1 and over 2. And you can look at that and see, well, if I would start here and I go up 1 and over 2, you see how it's like right there in that crosshair marker, okay? And then we say, well, is this positive or negative? Well, we gotta look at the highest part of the arrow, and that's gonna be here, and so that's in the positive box. Okay, so 2/4 or 1/2 would work. Okay, 23. Take a second and pause it and make sure that you're knowing how to do it right, okay? So take a second and pause it and make sure that your answer looks like my answer. Okay, either one of these answers would be fine. So -3/1 or -3. Okay, 3/1 is 3, but you don't normally write like a 1 underneath stuff. Okay, so either one of these two is totally fine. Okay, finish the rest of the sheet, all of the evens, okay, and then put it in the box back there. I hope you guys had a good Thanksgiving. I'm kind of bummed that I couldn't come this week, and I really look forward to seeing you guys all next week. As I've said, if you need me, reach out. For those of you guys that have, I'm pretty good about responding, and if I need to turn on the Zoom because you're really struggling, I gladly will, okay? It's no big deal. I'm feeling fine. I got my Rona shot already, and so does my husband, but my daughter was too young. Now she's eligible, so you know, I don't know if you believe in this sort of thing, but if you could keep my family in your thoughts and prayers, that would be great. And stay on top of your stuff, okay? The semester's coming to an end really quick. Use your time during success to get any of your missing assignments for anyone's classes in. And I will see you guys all next week.